Hey, what's up guys? Brent DeArmond here with Cascade Custom Built. Guys, this is our flagship build. We want to show you what Cascade can do. So I'm going to walk you on in here, but when you come in here, you're going to see a lot of the custom features that are available to you as well, because we really want your dreams and aspirations to come to life. So come on in, check it out. All right guys, on this build in particularly, we actually went with something of a CDX. Now this is cabinet grade here for the siding. This we did vertical sheets on the inside and we actually stained them. So typically when you're doing a shop, we can do an array of different kind of wall medias. You can do drywall, you could do the CDX, you can do anything and everything that you want. But this one actually came out really well. At the first start of it, we had a lot of different ideas, but this one definitely was the best idea. And then we capped it out with a belly band of some barnwood. In this particular build, we did a whole lot of barnwood, a lot of accent pieces, and that's what really made this one the custom piece that it came out to be. You guys are going to see some really awesome stuff. The custom railing that we have, the custom kitchen that we have LVP floors in here, epoxied floors. We actually have a 5-ton AC and heat unit, and you'll actually see the exposed piping as we get in here. We also have a chandelier in here that actually came out of Canada. So it's a beautiful custom piece, all tied together. At the end of the day, this is something to be proud of.
So the motivation to build this shop was to kind of have somewhere to hang out where I could look at the things that I've collected over the years. We have kind of my modern motorcycle here, my 2021, 2005, but these last two here, the bike I dated my wife on, 1982 shovelhead, and then a very special 1950 panhead that was built probably about 40 years ago. I just wanted somewhere where I could keep them clean and keep them up and running and kind of appreciate them all at once, and get them out of the garage and get them out of the dust was a big motivation to build this shop, which turned into much more than a shop. Turned out a place that my wife and I can really hang out and enjoy our time. Keeps a lot of dust off the 87 square body, as you'll see in a minute. Our side-by-side lives in here very comfortably, a couple of dirt bikes. Yeah, it turned out really nice. A lot of custom touches. At the end of the day, when everything came in, it turned out to be much more than we ever expected. It's like having a dream, a vision actually become tangible, and have a place to hang out and enjoy my time with my wife and my friends. I like being behind him, and I like this. Go, talk more. So I remember the day, Brent, you walked in here and said, "Hey, I have an idea." You went, "I think it looked pretty cool if you did the second half in a plywood, a finished grade plywood, and then we stain it." And I remember how I felt when the light went off over my head, and I was like, that's not a bad idea. That would look pretty cool. So once we did that, things just really started to evolve. Things just started getting nicer and nicer, and the place just kind of started building itself.
Well, actually, what gave me the original idea is we usually did like the OSB in a lot of the pole barns that we build and a lot of the shops we build. We do vertical sheets of OSB, which is just a chipboard. Right. And so we did that a lot, but I ended up buying a whole truckload of CDX that was cheaper than the OSB, but it's applied product, so it's the same strength. So on a couple jobs, I had to do vertical because I did vertical sheets of CDX in a couple like really modest, minimalist shops. And one of the guys I did it for, he's like, it'd be really cool is if you stain it and really bring out the color of it. He never did it, but it stuck in my head. And then when we started talking, I was like, I think I know, like you want it a shop, but you want it not a shop, right? So I was thinking, vertical sheets of CDX stained would be great. And then you came up with the idea of like, okay, well, and then we needed some kind of transition. And when we started doing the barnwood, which the barnwood was another idea that we didn't have until we started it, but then the belly band on the wood and the transition, and then you go above with the flat, level 3 finish. I think that it's like that was one thing in itself.
Yeah, it sure was. I remember learning the difference between a level 3 and a level 4 and talking to the drywall guy and saying, this really turned out to be more than just a shop. So is there something called a level 3.5? Can I push a level 4 a little bit? And he just kind of laughed when he realized what the end result we were looking for was. He did spend a few extra hours, and he goes, this is a drywall job for a shop I think you'll be very happy with. And he was right. That was Van Vleck drywall. Yeah, it was very, very good. And
I think one of the confusing things for a lot of the guys that worked here, we kept calling it a shop. This isn't a shop.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If we would have just called it a house, I think that they probably would have cared a little bit more and not damaged some stuff.
Like I said to you, I've learned so much at the end of this build. That would have been one of the first adjustments I made. This is not a shop. It started off as a shop, but like a lot of things I do, they just tend to get bigger and more, and get large. Turned out to be kind of a house that I could keep some of my toys in. I'm so happy with the last minute change to the exposed ventilation, the HVAC system. It was going in the ceiling, and
because originally we were going to do
no one thought anything about it.
Originally we were going to do the mini splits, just the head units on the wall.
Exactly. And then even after that, when it went, you're absolutely right, it was the mini splits. And we never gave much thought, like, they'll be fine. And then after that, it went to an HVAC system, a 5-ton HVAC system, and they were going to put the vents in the ceiling, and no one gave much thought to that. And at the very, very last minute, I think if I remember that far back, I think it was like, hey, wouldn't it look cool if it was exposed?
I think we both were kind of talking the same.
Was it like an aha moment?
I think we were both kind of talking about that because neither one of us liked the vents in the ceiling.
Okay, because it was so long ago.
Because, they wanted to put the AC unit in here. Yeah. And then they wanted to, run like a duck up, and it was like, no. So then we had a guy recommend in the corner. Yeah. And then at that point, it was like, in the corner, it would be really cool because we didn't want to put the flex tube in the ceiling with so then, how do we get the exposed ducting? And I don't think it could have come out cooler. I know we were talking about doing black and everything, but I think it pops just still the same.
I'm glad we didn't go black. I like that little industrial commercial look to the HVAC system. That turned out really well. All the way down to Mike, who did the garage doors. When I said to him, listen, we're going to be up in the loft, all the brackets, I'd really like all the brackets to be clones of each other. And he did not even hesitate. He had a laser up there and a measuring tape. And if you go up in the loft and look down the tracks of the garage door, every bracket that holds the tracks to the ceiling, every single one is in the same place. Every single one is the same exact shape and size. And he just really spent the day here making sure everything looked great. Yeah. And I just couldn't be happier with Mike and his installation. Yep. And everything came out really good.
Elite garage door.
Elite garage door. Super nice guy.
I have to point out, I have never ever in all my time done a floor to ceiling tile shower.
It was supposed to be a little shower stall and just got bumped up.
Yep. And then we have also the custom cabinets in here, a vanity cabinet that was supposed to be from Lowe's or Home Depot, but that's not the feel of everything that we were doing here. So, for instance, for the kitchen, we were our canning area, right?
Right.
So this started out as
mop sink.
A quote unquote mop sink with a canning area, and then it just kind of morphed. We were just going to do lowers, then it had the vision of doing the uppers, and the master design, our cabinet guy, he's really good at his craft. But these are all soft close custom cabinets, so it kind of took on a life of its own. But then we kind of move on into the leisure area, and I'd like you to explain a little bit about what we got going on over here.
This was a stove that my brother's best friend, they spent a lot of time in the 70s, 80s, and 90s in Big Bear skiing. And when my brother's best buddy replaced the stove in his cabin, my brother grabbed this one and put it in his garage where it sat covered under a blanket for about, close to 30 years. And when his house was sold, I went and picked it up and brought it home to Idaho, and it was basically a rusty mess. Took it all apart. and kind of had it evaluated, and someone told me the stove had another 100 years life left to it, just needed to be cleaned. So we took it all apart and changed all the gaskets and polished all the moving parts up, and then baked some new black into it. It's not black stove paint, it's actually a black paste that gets baked into it, and I just could not be happier how it turned out, and has a new life, and hopefully it'll be in here for another 50 years. And the hearth was a last minute idea that Brent and I came up with to, let's take some wood and lift it up a little bit, and then that turned into, let's tile it, and okay, let's do the back on it, and everything just progressed. It's got like 3 layers of fire protection. I remember one of the funniest lines was when Andre was tiling this, he said, "This is so safe you could build a fire up here if you wanted." So that made me happy. Yeah, it's got a lot of fire protection, it's very safe, and I just couldn't be happier that the stove has a new life, and it's going to be here for many, many years.
Well, I guess this is considered a mop sink.
This is, yeah, so we did put a mop sink in. This actually, it makes me laugh, because when we first started building the shop, the LVP floor was supposed to stop about a foot in front of the utility sink, and the utility sink was going to be part of the shop. Well, as the shop progressed, the living area, the fun area, started getting bigger and bigger, and the shop floor started getting a little bit smaller. So when it was all said and done, the utility sink ended up being, on top of the LVP, which was never the plan. But I think if you put a cool backsplash on it, put a shelf next to it, it kind of looks like it was always meant to be. A nice place to rinse out your drink glasses. And
so let me ask you, are you going to be doing oil changes in here?
Yeah, that's never going to happen anymore. It was always a place where, hey, I can work on the tractors in here, I can service the bikes in here, and that'll be great. I can have the TV on, and it'll be great. And then it was like, oh, heck no. That's just, no. So everything, all maintenance work will now be back done in the garage. So, yeah.
Well, and then this is a really cool story as well. This actually has history of Eagle right here in Eagle, Idaho.
Yeah, it sure does. They're friends of ours. Bought the lot where Gem State Brewing is now, and they had to remove an oak tree on the property, I believe, and actually had the oak tree milled, and the bars at Gem State Brewing, the bar tops, the countertops, if you will, they've all been milled and have a live edge on them, and it's the most beautiful place, and it's just a really fun place to hang out. Brews all his own beers. It's just so non-commercial, it's so family friendly, it's just such a warm place. We go there quite a bit to support them. And we were there one day visiting, and he asked how the shop was coming, and I said, it's coming. Anything that nice is going to take some time. And he said, what are you doing for countertops and things like that? And I said, well, we've already got all that going in right now. And he goes, oh, because I have 2 giant slabs of oak that I didn't use in the bar, and you're more than welcome to them. And it turned out to be probably like one of the most beautiful workbench tops I've ever had. So again, this will never be used.
That'll never be used.
Yeah, my wife had the best idea ever. She said it's just the most beautiful buffet table you're ever going to see. So when we end up entertaining in here and having friends in here, this will probably be where we put all the food, because this is going to be a workbench that...
So is this Super Bowl Sunday?
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, this will be my
go.
son's coming over with his friends, and we'll have some food up here. And I just thought to myself, well, it just have to do it justice. I can't make a 2x4 frame for this. I just need to do something better. Where am I going to put my toolboxes? I really don't have a lot more wall space. And just laying in bed one night, I thought to myself, why don't I just use some really cool tool chest and use those for legs? Mm-hmm. So I got on the phone and ordered these, and ordered 3 of them, and I just couldn't be happier. I've got my workbench, I've got my storage. So super happy about that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks for joining us on our flagship build and seeing all the customization that we do. So if you guys need a shop, pole barn, or barndominium, give us a call.